Eagles. Boulder, Colorado group going first here. The Eisenhower Eco Eagles.
Yes. Okay. How do you get elementary school kids to care about food scraps? Simple. You give them a trophy. We call ours the compost cup, and the results are anything but trash. Hi everyone, I'm Florence, joined by Marco, Calvin, and Nora. We represent the Eco Eagles Green Team in Boulder, Colorado. Our team of 25 student eco ambassadors works every day to turn sustainability into a school-wide habit, proving you're never too young to protect the earth. We used to compost everything, but that changed when our hauler stopped accepting paper and compostable dinnerware due to contamination. Suddenly, we had to shrink our collection to only food scraps. This created a major challenge. How do we keep our bins clean and ensure food scraps don't end up in the landfill? We realized the success of the entire program hinged on one thing: getting the students at Eisenhower to actually care. We needed a way to turn waste disposal into a competition.
Hi, I'm Marco. Here's the problem. When food rots in the landfill, it creates methane, a gas that acts like a heavy blanket, trapping heat and warming our planet. Methane is 80 times more powerful than carbon dioxide. It's the supervillain of greenhouse gases. By composting, we become the superheroes who stop it. Unlike landfills, compost piles have plenty of air, so microbes turn scraps into humus, a nutrient-rich plant superfood without creating any methane at all. But there's a catch. If a single plastic wrapper gets into the bin, it breaks down into microplastics that stay in the soil forever. These tiny pieces are dangerous to plants and animals and can even end up in the food we eat. Just one plastic bottle can ruin an entire load, forcing our hauler to dump it all in the landfill. To save our soil and our climate, we have to keep our compost clean.
I'm Calvin. To solve the problem of compost contamination, the Eco Eagles turned sorting into a school-wide challenge, the Compost Cup. We proposed a simple plan. Our head custodian would monitor the bins during each grade's lunch period. Every Friday, the grade that sorted their waste most accurately would win a traveling trophy made of upcycled materials. To keep the momentum going, we added a grand prize. The grade with the most wins by the end of the school year earns a popsicle party. The competition caught the attention of EcoCycle, our local recycler. They noticed how clean our compost was and invited us to join the Farmer First project. Instead of trucking our scraps 35 miles away, they now go directly to 10 local Boulder County farms. These farmers don't have filters, so they rely on us to keep the compost 100% clean. They can turn our scraps into nutrient-rich soils, grow local food, including the very own lettuce served on our own salad bar. It's a perfect cycle. To make this work, we swapped our giant dumpster for a smaller bin and teamed up with our amazing kitchen staff. Our hauler now says Eisenhower has the cleanest compost he collects. The Compost Cup isn't just a game, it's how we're building a culture of sustainability, one lunch period at a time.
Hi, I'm Nora. To check on how we're doing with our waste diversion, the Eco Eagles performed a waste audit. We put on our gloves and combed through the bins. In the landfill, we found only a cup's worth of misplaced food. In our compost, there were just 2 fruit stickers. We're not perfect yet, but we are pretty clean. However, we learned that habits can slip. Without our Eco Eagles standing by the bins, students sometimes get sloppy, like tossing a plastic bag of strawberry tops into the trash instead of emptying the leaves into the compost first. We found that even when we don't say a word, our presence acts as a visual nudge to do the right thing. Regular announcements and a consistent presence at the disposal area are the keys to moving from nearly perfect to truly perfect. Consistency is what keeps our compost clean.
You don't need anything extreme to make a difference. You just need to make it matter. If you want to start a school movement, here are our 3 tips. 1. Make it a game. Turn a chore into a competition like our compost cup. When it's a game, students aren't just following the rules. They're playing to win. 2. Find your champions. Partner with your principal, custodians, and kitchen staff. Their support is the backbone of any green project. 3. Keep it local. Knowing exactly where your waste goes makes the impact real. Feeding a local farm feels much better than filling a far-off landfill. We've learned it's not just about the trophy. It's about realizing that even a first grader has the power to stop a super climate villain like methane. We are the Eisenhower Eco-Weagles, proving no student is too small to change the world. Thank you again for inviting us to tell our story.
Over to Boise, where we've got the Green Team Ninjas. You are now actually up, team, and Finley. So we are excited. You can unmute. We're excited to hear about the good work that you are doing.
Hi, we are the Green Team Ninjas from Trailwind Elementary in Boise, Idaho. In just 1 week, our school created 447 pounds of waste. Before our program, most of that waste would go straight into the landfill. We started to notice a problem in our cafeteria. Students didn't always know where to put their waste, and a lot of items were getting mixed together. There was a lot of confusion at first. One of the biggest issues was contamination. For example, yogurt cups were often put in the wrong bins, which could ruin compost or recycling. We realized if we wanted to make a difference, we needed to create a better system that everyone could use and understand and use.
We created a system with 4 bins: compost, recycling, plastic, and landfill. Students helped guide other students during lunch. One challenge was contamination. We learned it's better to put something into our landfill than to ruin compost or recycling. To solve this problem, we created a 4-bin sorting system in our cafeteria. We have bins for compost, recycling, plastics, and landfill. But the most important part of our system is that students help other students. During lunch, Green Team Ninjas stand at the sorting station and guide others by asking questions and helping them make good choices. At first, this wasn't easy. Some students were unsure and mistakes still happened. We learned that when something is confusing, it's better to put it in the landfill than to contaminate compost or recycling. Over time, students got better and the system started working more smoothly every day.
We didn't just create a system, we also collected data to understand if it was working. Each day, we sorted waste into 4 categories and weighed it. Then we recorded up the numbers and added them up for the week. We collected data to show our progress, make improvements, and show our impact. The data helps us make better decisions and continue improving on our system. Data helps us understand not just what we are doing, but how we can do it better. Our data shows the impact of our work. In 1 week, we collected a total of 447 pounds of waste. Out of that, 76% was compost, which means it can go back to the earth and be reused. Only 12% went into the landfill, which is a big improvement from before. We also recycled 9% and collected plastic separately. This shows that most of our waste is no longer trash, it's a resource. Small systems create big change. One school can make a difference. Many schools can change the future. We scaled our data for us to understand the impacts of making the change to divert our waste more intentionally. The percentages look the same, but the amount of waste we are helping grows bigger and bigger. In 1 month, that's about the weight of a pickup truck. 1 year equals 4 pickup trucks. 10 schools per year equals 40 pickup trucks.
We noticed students started asking questions like, where does this go? That shows learning and responsibility. Now we have a question for you. where would yogurt go?
A yogurt, yeah, those yogurt containers right there from a
Our
school.
our answer is in our cafeteria, it's the landfill. You might be wondering why yogurt goes in the landfill even though the container looks recyclable. The problem is that leftover food like yogurt can contaminate recycling and compost. When something is contaminated, it can ruin an entire batch. So we made a responsible choice. It's better to send one item to the landfill than to risk ruining everything else. This helps protect our whole system.
Our message is simple. Start small, build a system, and let students lead. One school can make a difference. Many schools can change the world. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Bravo. Bravo, Green Team Ninjas.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samara Wilson, and this is Dr. Tiffany Turrentine. Today, we're honored to present the benefits of honey. It was a project developed by our primary researcher and a 12th grade student here at Lincoln, Milan Williams, but she's unable to join us today. While many of us view honey as a safe, simple pantry staple, we're going to explore how this remarkable substance serves as a bridge between agriculture, medicine, and community health.
Okay. They say a spoonful of honey heals. But to understand why, I want you to take a moment just to think about when you have that honey. Okay? First, take a second to think about the last time you had to take medicine. Perhaps it was a bitter syrup or a chalky pill. Something you took because you had to, not because you wanted to. But now shift your focus to thinking about honey. Think about that first time you tasted that real honey. Think of the floral aromas, the smooth texture, and that immediate natural sweetness. Most medicine, to some people, it's a chore, but honey is a gift. But what if we told you that the sweetness that you're tasting is actually highly effective biological shield? It's good for you.
This brings us to the core of our study. Local beekeepers are more than just hobbyists. They are deeply invested into the science of their hives. Specifically, they're interested in how effectively their honey inhibits bacteria growth. It's a scientific fact. Honey has powerful antibacterial properties. This is due to its low moisture, high acidity, and natural production of hydrogen peroxide within the hive. Because of this, honey plays a massive role in medicine, for wound care and infection control, food production, as a natural and safe preservative, and environmental health, serving as a filter for our ecosystem. Despite these facts, many people remain unaware of just how important honey is to the consumer and protection of global health. The purpose of this research was to help local beekeepers understand how effectively their honey inhibits bacterial growth. To test the antibacterial properties of local honey, we used the agar diffusion method with Staphylococcus, or bacteria that's commonly found in our skin. After preparing the nutrient agar plates and inculcating them with live bacteria, the honey soaked wells were placed on the surface and incubated at 37 degrees Celsius for 14 to 18 hours. The zones of inhibition were measured to compare how effectively each Philadelphia or suburban honey sample slows to prevent bacteria growth. We hypothesized that the honey from Philadelphia has a higher zone of inhibition of bacteria than the honey from surrounding counties. And based on our results, our hypothesis was correct. Philadelphia honey shows a higher zone of inhibition than the surrounding counties, Montgomery, Delaware, and Chester. If you look at the slide, you'll see like little halos surrounding each honey well. The bigger the halo, the bigger the zone of inhibition. So it's pretty good if you see it from the slide.
Awesome. So what is our future impact? So the research work that the students did wasn't just about what occurred in the lab, it's about what's happening in our community. We wanted to know what was the health like. So our future impact of this project is twofold. First, we aim to support our local beekeepers, one, by sharing the data, the validated health benefits of their honey. And we also help sustain their small businesses in the vital honeybee population that they manage. The second is we were also looking at a greener future for Philadelphia. The goal is to beautify our communities within the city by planting native pollinator plants. This creates a win-win cycle that the bees will get to high quality forage, and they also have ability to produce medicinal grade honey. This will help not only the bees, but also Philadelphians to have a cleaner air, more beautiful neighborhoods, as well as better health outcomes. So
Awesome. What cool research. And I love the connection between the research showing the benefits of honey and how interconnected, right, that ecosystem health is going to create opportunities for those pollinators with the human connection. So the research itself is awesome, but then also the potential, educating people about this research and how it's awesome that, that urban honey actually had more antibacterial properties. And what a great legacy for students to continue to build on that you've created. Great job, Samara. All right, so we are going to move over to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and hear from the high school students from Fayetteville High School about their project around composting. So we're going to hand it over to the food fighters, Fayetteville.
Hi. So we're from Fayetteville, Arkansas at Fayetteville High School. I'm Mary Alden Beavers. I'm Helene Bitokun. And I'm Ella Waller. And you can go ahead and go to the next slide, if you don't mind. So this is just like an overview. We'll be talking about our project history, our project overview and how we managed it, and then the stats that we have, and then the future projects that we would like to pursue, and then the individual elementary school projects that we also did. Okay, so our project stemmed from FHS alums. It started around 2023, 2024, and we gained this opportunity through AP Environmental Science. And we had little projects we could try out to help and create a more sustainable environment. Our project is to make composting a district-wide initiative with the goal of teaching the youth how to compost correctly. Next slide. You can go to the next slide, please. So we rolled out into 3 different elementary schools to teach the kids how to compost, and we went there for about maybe 5 days through their lunch to teach them how to compost the right way. And we did have some challenges, which was, I think, they would get so excited about composting, they would just forget to separate their trash through the certain bins that they belong to, which was one challenge because of contamination. But once we got to the last day of teaching them how to compost, a majority of the students were pros. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have some statistics from our project. So currently Fayetteville has a rate of 20% diversion from the landfill. and our goal is 40% diversion. So that's pretty cool that we're kind of halfway there. So yeah, our goal is 40% by 2027 through the use of compost. So it's really cool to see our progress in that goal and how we're halfway there. Next slide. Okay, so in this project, like I said before, we communicated to different elementary schools. We also communicated with principals and superintendents to make sure to incentivize, to let the community know about our program, so that when we do compost things, they can then use that food waste to grow their fruits and to help with their gardens. So it was a really cool project, and in this project we faced diverse struggles, but in all of that we were honored and gratified to say that we created the influence of sustainability in our community, and we faced the challenge of having to deal with what to do with all that compost after we're done with it. But through communication with our community, we're able to get people to use that waste for the gardens, which was very impactful. Next slide. And in the future, we hope to further scale sustainable practices to reduce one-time use disposable products in school canteens. In the pictures, you see drop-off locations. So in our communities, we have recyclable bins and also compost bins. Outside of just the school, we have like places in the state where you can bring your own recyclable material from your houses, so that the city can help you manage that. So we're scaling it just beyond just our district, but inside our community, so that other people who might not have the resource of a compost bin in their high schools can also find a way to contribute to sustainability and to help Fayetteville to be a more green program. So yeah, thank you. Any questions?